There is so much buzz about a major NBA trade this offseason, but think about the panic about to happen April 20th. The playoffs start. So it's offseason time for 14 NBA teams. What if the Warriors are one of those, or the Lakers? There will be so much pressure to pull off a big trade that rocks the league. But we also learned Victor Wembanyama isn't like a normal rookie. If the Spurs wanted to build slow, like the Thunder with SGA, that's not realistic. This kid is ready to compete now. Coach Pop admitted, whether it's money in the bank or draft picks or being creative trade-wise, all those things are on the table. And tons of gettable stars fit perfect with Wembanyama. But the Spurs will have competition. There are 4 stars lots of teams want. Number 1 is Donovan Mitchell. To get him, the Cavs had to deal 3 first-round picks, 2 swaps, plus Lauri Markkanen and Colin Sexton. In return, Cleveland got smacked in the first round last year by the Knicks. Now reports say, unless they make the NBA Finals, Spida wants out. But at one point, it was going great. After a slow start, Donovan dropped 29 a game with 5 boards and 7 dimes. Best ball of his career, going 22-4. But that was with Darius Garland out or limited. Now, that momentum has collapsed. But it is the last few games of the NBA regular season, and I am still playing Pick'em. You pick higher or lower for your favorite teams or whatever players you're gonna watch that night, just to make the game more fun, and you might be able to win a little money in the process. So I wanna give you my picks for tonight. First up is Joel Embiid. His steals plus blocks is set at 2.5. I'm gonna go higher because the Magic love to drive inside. Then we're gonna go Nikola Jokic. His first quarter points against the Spurs is set at 9.5. I am gonna go less. And best of luck if you are tailing those picks. Check out this updated map to see if Underdog is available in your area. But always use the promo code AMHOOPS when you sign up, because they will double your deposit up to $100. Plus, you get a special free pick if you sign up using that promo code AMHOOPS. Cleveland has lost 13 of their last 21 games. The offense is bad as the tanking Raptors, mostly because Donovan is out. First a knee issue, then he breaks his nose, and Darius Garland ain't the same guy. The year before Spida arrived, he was an all-star. That year, he had 26 games with 10+ assists. Year 1 with Spida, 18. Now, just 6 games. Sharing the court with Mitchell playmaking has killed Garland's impact. He's not the same player, and trading Mitchell for help could revive him. Now, the Cavs want to keep Donovan, but they might not have a choice. There's 1 year left on his contract, but he refuses to discuss his future. 2 weeks ago, owner Dan Gilbert said, "We think he'll extend. I think if you listen to him, he loves the city." Oh, really? I've said this before, and I know you have to ask the question, but my focus is, I have a lot of things to focus on. He is obviously leaving. Donovan's preferred destination is New York. He grew up a Knicks fan and thought he was going there 2 years ago, but the Knicks have Jalen Brunson, so adding Spida might not be worth it. But what about the Miami Heat? The Heat get Donovan for Tyler Hero, Kevin Love, and 3 first-round picks. Spida still contends for a chip and has a strong relationship with Bam Adebayo. Obviously, the Cavs want Jaime Jaquez Jr. here, so we'll see how serious the Heat are about getting Donovan. But the Spurs could trade Keldon Johnson, Devontae Graham, and up to 8 first-round picks, including a top pick this summer. But I don't see San Antonio risking all that for a guy with 1 year left on his deal. The next potential trade, Trae Young. Some say it's a guarantee. Mark Stein is one of the most plugged-in reporters. The most likely scenario, according to one league source, is Atlanta trades one of its 2 star guards before next season, Trae or DeJounte. And guess what? They already put DeJounte on the market and hated the offers. But Trae has been out since late February. He comes back, they lose to the Hornets, and without him, they were better. Slipped on offense, but the defense jumped from dead last to average. The net rating? Decent. So does Trae suck? No, he is an amazing passer and scorer, but the fit with DeJounte is awful. We have seen for 2 years now, they don't complement each other. In fact, I'll bet if DeJounte was out, we would see a similar improvement. One of them has to go. and that will be Trae. He'll get a lot more back in a trade, and he makes a lot less money. I mean, DeJounte makes like $20 million less, which is huge when you're building a team. So the first threat is the Lakers. They can offer Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, two very good players, plus Gabe Vincent and 3 first-round picks. Now, they didn't push for DeJounte at the deadline to have more ammo for a bigger trade like this. The Lakers need a ball handler to take pressure off LeBron and better offense when LeBron and AD sit. But if the Spurs want Trae Young, this is a done deal. Wemby's team has the Hawks draft picks. So if they want to rebuild, they need those picks back. The trade is Keldon Johnson, Devontae Graham, Trey Jones, 3 picks and a swap. This is all about those picks, by the way. And Trey Jones is a great backup point guard, and it'd kind of be confusing to have 2 point guards named Trey. The next trade is Zach LaVine. In fact, I think if the Lakers miss out on Trey and Donovan Mitchell, they will panic and grab LaVine. It was already reported in January. The Bulls and Zach want a divorce. Then he had season-ending foot surgery right before the deadline, so nothing happened. The reason LaVine is the backup plan is his contract and experience. Dude's made the playoffs 1 time and lost bad in the first round. And his contract, $46 million a year for an injury-prone 29-year-old? Who would do that? A desperate team like LA. But an under-the-radar team is the Orlando Magic. And I'm not saying that they go get Zach LaVine, but what about Spida or Trey or Darius Garland? The Magic unexpectedly took a leap to as high as maybe the 3 seed this year. They've got the number 3 defense in the league, but the offense is 22nd. They cannot even score in crunch time. The young core is Jalen Suggs, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Jonathan Isaac. Now with an all-star point guard, who knows how good they will be? But the next star is Karl Anthony Towns. Tore his meniscus on March 4th, and the team kept on rolling, just like last year when he missed 51 games with a calf strain. The Wolves are under a huge financial crunch, and they need a trade soon. In fact, on the Bill Simmons podcast, there's some bad money stuff coming at some point. You wonder how that's going to go. We know how it's going to go. Towns will be traded. Anthony Edwards will have to really step up if this happens. But you know who doesn't care? The fans. Because Cat's backup is Naz Reid, basically the mayor of Minneapolis. A honk if you love Naz Reid sign downtown. Random I love Nas signs at the arena. These fans went to the game just to see the Naz Reid World Tour. Why do they love him so much? Because he was a 5-star prospect that went undrafted in 2019. Dude weighed 256 pounds with the highest body fat percentage in the draft. Then he cut down to 237. Loves playing for the Wolves so much, he turned down 4 for $64 million in Cleveland to come off the bench at 3 for $42. But in Cat's place, he is 18-7, hitting 44% from deep, and the team is 12-6. So if Cat gets traded, most of the smoke right now is to the Knicks. But the haul back will be mostly draft picks because Minnesota can't take back a bunch of long-term salary. Most of what happens will be based on how these playoffs shake out. Do the Cavs get embarrassed in the first round again? What if the Hawks somehow upset and win a round? It's a crazy next few weeks. Either way, a couple of really big teams are going to miss the playoffs in the West. If that's the Warriors or the Lakers, watch out. But speaking of Minnesota, they are having the nastiest ownership fight in NBA history right now. The details of the beef are insane, and it could ruin 1 to 2 years of Ant's career.